please rise. As we ask for your respectful attention, please remove your caps and silence your cell phones. We ask your respectful silence, please. Ladies and gentlemen, before the presentation of the national anthem, tonight marks the anniversary of one of the darkest chapters in the history of our country, simply known as 9/11. Let us now pause for a moment of silent reflection to remember those who lost their lives in New York and Washington, D.C. We remember those who gave their lives trying to save others. Let us honor them now in a moment of silence.
We're going to try one more thing here. I want to see it.
Thank you, and God bless America. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, to honor our country with the national anthem, please welcome Alana Williams as she sings our national anthem near the Yorktown bench. Welcome to the same as Alana Williams. Thank you, Alana. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to Charlie Murphy Field, where we're pleased and proud to present to you high school football action featuring your Huskers of Yorktown. Heading to their bench at this moment, led by head coach Jimmy Clark, the Indians of John J. Cross River. And now, led by head coach Mike Signo, please welcome your Huskers of Yorktown.
I have one field pass left. I can have someone run it to you. We're just about to, we're going live.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have the meeting of the captains at the center of the field, the officials for tonight's contest. The referees, Mr. John Ciccone. The umpire, Mr. John Sullivan. The head linesman, Mr. Steve Nickel.
Sorry.
Field judge, Mr. Tom Courtney, and the back judge, Mr. Keith McCall. When the captains come out, let's officially welcome for the season. Ladies and gentlemen, on the mat in front of the benches and in front of the stands, please welcome your Yorktown cheerleaders.
John.
And please welcome the Yorktown High School band.
You think you can call the game with your cameras at the same time?
I probably could. What am I doing? Switching?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you gotta worry about is this row up here. You're just gonna click between those.
Okay.
Actually, it's just these three. We don't even go into camera for.
Okay. That's fine. Probably give me a better view anyway.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna try instant replay it. No.
I'm trying to avoid this.
So the only buttons you gotta worry about are these three.
So this is one, this is two, this is three.
Exactly. And here's your previews down here.
What's live?
This is live in the upper right hand corner.
Okay, so program is live.
We are streaming right now. Just
And for the teach. Number 77, Dylan 7. And here are the captains for Yorktown for 2015. Nicholas Szymanowski, number 5. Scott Weaver, number 7. Joey Costello, number 57.
I'm trying to help Tracy, so if you guys just want to put this video up and go.
Video's up, we're going.
Okay, go.
Whenever you're ready to go.
And then JK, if you want to do some talking, go ahead.
I'm going to do your color while doing this.
Oh, all right.
You get in?
You want to start?
Hang on, Tracy really kind of needs me right now.
Let me get a 3.
Yeah.
Back out to 2. Sorry, I'm hitting.
Got it a couple of different ways.
The other captain is number 45, Katonah-Lewisboro.
And a delayed good evening to you one and all, but not delayed for the kickoff, just a little delayed for some pregame activity, but the 2015 high school football season getting ready to get underway on HAN.Network. I'm Rob Adams with John Kovach, Eric Gendron, AJ Szymanowski, Tracy Iazzi, and an entire crew here at Yorktown High School's Charlie Murphy Stadium as tonight the John Jay Indians at 1-0 take on the Huskers of Yorktown High. Coin toss has already taken place, and Yorktown stepping onto the field decked out in black jerseys with green on the shoulders. Their look has changed. It's evolved over the years. They were quite a bit of green and white and some black for a while. Then they went into a whole stretch where they were more or less the Oakland Raiders for a while. We'll explain that a little bit more as the evening goes along. But away we get ready to go.
All right, tonight we're doing this.
John, you are nearby, so I want to bring you in as well.
Yeah, we understand, talking to J.B. Cousins of the Lewisboro Ledger, injuries hindering John Jay coming into this contest. I did notice they've got quite the boot on their young kicker during pregame warm-ups.
Well, they send two deep off to our left. But Yorktown ready to kick the ball off. 74 degrees. At game time, under clear skies. And away we go. With a low line drive that's taken at the 13-yard line. Starting ahead of steam, finds an opening, takes it across the 40-yard line to the 42. A nice run back by Thor Adamek, the sophomore. So a good start and good field position for the John Jay Indians, moving from left to right in the opening frame. 24 yards on the return, and a shotgun set on first down out of the spread. Receivers to each side. Fake the inside handoff, and a nice burst over the middle by Matt Lee, the sophomore quarterback. He gets to the Yorktown 49-yard line.
Rob, John Jay in that hurry-up that we were told to expect from them. Expect a lot of plays tonight.
A gain of 7 and a man in motion. Fake to that man. Now the inside handoff. That was Chris Iorio up the middle now. A handoff it goes for a first down. right near the 47-yard line.
Yeah, you'll see no huddle, no switch of positions by any of the receivers. They're just going to come out, line up, and try to wear down the defense by sheer volume of plays.
Adamek, the runner on that one, a first down from left to right. He'll take it. No, he won't. Bouncing it straight ahead is Lee with the keeper. And Lee across the 40 down near the 36-yard line, tackled by Dominic Chaffee, the junior safety for Mike Rosigno and the Yorktown Huskers. John Jay coached by Jimmy Clark. So good ball movement and a first down now at the 35 of Yorktown. Again, back to the ground. Adamek left side, finds some running room. Stays inside the numbers and down near the 15-yard line before he's wrapped up. So a good run there, another big burst and a first down for the Indians, who are just moving the ball at will, John.
Yeah, they just haven't let Yorktown get set. They haven't figured out how to stop them, and they're just continuing to gut them. Sorry, Rob.
No, that's okay. Jake Loeb, the receiver, out to the right. Trying it off the left side was Adamek again, but he gets run into. Bunch of tacklers over there for Yorktown, including Brian Carson, one of the big horses up front.
Blocking just broke down on that when he ran into a wall that he could not get through.
Perhaps a gain of a yard, if that. At the 15, first pass, swing pass left side, Adamek to the 10, to the 5, and he's knocked out of bounds. Let's see where they mark him. They'll put him down at the 4-yard line. So it'll be first and goal. Again, John Jay almost moving the ball at will in those white uniforms with the purple piping and the numbers.
But notice, Rob, we were only a minute and a half into this game. This drive burning no time on the clock.
Absolutely true. Waiting, shotgun set. Adamek, nope, the fake, the keeper. It's Lee. Lee gets wrapped up right down near the 3. Gang tackled inside. Coming out of the pile, looked like Tyler Maker. Looked like 15, but maybe not. Second and goal. Again, the keeper, Lee, down near the goal line, and he's roughed up right near the 2, closer to the 1. Big number 77, Brian Carson, in on the stop once again, JK.
And now they've slowed down a little bit, and you're seeing Yorktown get some defensive subs on. They're getting the big boys on now in the goal line, trying to stop this.
A big third and goal on the opening drive with 9:38 to go in the opening frame. Again, it's Lee. Runs into a man, and he's stuffed right at the goal line.
They tried jet. It was a fake jet. Then they faked counter off it. Quarterback pulled and kept, and he just had nowhere to go.
So a quick look over to Jimmy Clark on 4th and goal, and a whistle and a timeout taken by John Jay. And John, you look over at the John Jay sideline, there are a large number let me correct myself, there is not a lot of depth is what I was trying to say over there.
No, not at all. It's one thing that jumped out at me as these teams came on for warm-ups, the fact that there aren't a lot of guys suited up for John Jay against a very large contingent of Yorktown Huskers. By the way, Rob, a lot of nice 9/11 remembrances going into the pregame. As I look down at the sideline, I see an American flag and the POW-MIA flag, both prominently displayed on the Yorktown bench.
Absolutely true, John. 4th and goal at the Yorktown 1. No score. 9:15 to go in the opening stanza of 2015 on a largely clear, somewhat humid night, 74 degrees as we kicked it off. 4th down, and the Indians are going to go for it. A receiver near side right. They'll stack him up behind. A man in motion, Adamek. Into the end zone goes Leon, the keeper. Touchdown, John Jay. Matt Lee, a 1-yard touchdown run, and the crowd silent on the near side as John Jay grabs the 6-0 lead.
Yeah, that drive stalled for 3 plays as they got in the shadow of the Yorktown goalpost. I don't know what they did differently on that timeout, but they came out and they finished the drive, but they've only burned a little less than 3 minutes on this.
Exactly right. The extra point is up and true from number 33, Perry Shelbury. And just like that, with 9:09 to go in the first quarter, John Jay grabs a 7-0 lead.
Shelby really impressed me in warm-ups with his kicks. He's got quite the leg there. I would not be surprised to see a field goal tried tonight.
Absolutely not. So off and running on game 1 of at least 30, and by the time you throw in playoffs, a lot more in field hockey as well as soccer, boys and girls soccer. So we will be very busy throughout the fall and obviously into the winter and spring as well.
Looking forward to it, and just something about a Friday night high school football game, just so special.
Absolutely true. For Yorktown, they reached the sectional finals a year ago here in New York, coming off a 27-14 win over Our Lady of Lourdes. Our Lady of Lourdes out of Poughkeepsie is the defending Section 1 Class B champion. We'll see what the Huskies do when they get the ball. Yorktown ready to receive it as they send 2 deep down to our right. With Nick Sanovica, the far side deep receiver, back near the hash mark at the 1-yard line. Shelby ready to make the approach in a 7-0 ball game. Here is the approach and the kick. It's short, though. Let's see if Sanovica will come up and take it. He will. Grabs it at the 11, right along the hash mark. Ahead of steam, moves to his right, bounces outside the numbers as he tumbles across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Decent field position for the Yorktown Huskers in the black, white, and green.
I was worried about being able to read the numbers on the Yorktown jerseys, but it does work.
They're not easy. Jose Boyer, the starting quarterback, wears number 12. He's a junior.
That looks like a beefy front line for these Yorktown Huskers. It looks like they have the size advantage on John Jay.
Boyer ran for 77 yards last week. A receiver out to the near side left. One goes out to the far side right. Play action. He rolls to his left, flips it left high, and he's got a man at the 41-yard line. They will give him the catch right along the near side to senior Scott Weaver.
Hit the short out. That's going to be there a lot in these spread offenses. You roll, they're going to tuck it underneath the coverage.
It's a first down for the Huskers at their own 42-yard line on the near side hash. The give goes inside. Sanovica gang tackled for a loss of 2. Back to the 40-yard line, brought down by Griffin Wallach, the junior defensive lineman.
That was an interesting formation, Rob, in that you had a really strong pass set to the top of the screen with your slot. You had double wing. You had twin wings on the bottom of the screen to the offense's left, and that's where they ran the ball. You see it again now. You've got a bunch up top. 2nd and 12. Shovel pass right side.
Sanovica pushes, bounces outside, inside the numbers. Now goes outside for a first down. A gain of close to 15 as he gets down near the John Jay 42-yard line.
In less than a minute, we've seen more formations from Yorktown out of this spread. They're really mixing it up, making John Jay adjust, making John Jay figure out where the attack is coming.
On the far side hash, play action, near side and a little high and incomplete as Boyer tried to find Weaver in the flat, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Scoreboard down to our left with a big block style Y in white. The black is more of a newer thing. They've been green and white for many years here at Yorktown, but as I mentioned, they went through a stretch in the 90s where they were very much the Oakland Raiders, right down to the Pirate. As the Autumn Raider, of course.
The Autumn Wind.
The Autumn Wind is a
Raider.
Pirate.
That's
Exactly.
right. Yeah, what he said.
2nd and 10.
Nobody will say it like Facenda.
Ooh, and some movement. Let's see if they throw the flag, and there we go. We've got our first laundry of the season. But again, this is our first game. It's not the first game for these teams. False start.
No, I'm excited to be here with our first game on the HAN.Network.
False start and a loss of 5. Along with John Kovach, our entire crew, I'm Rob Adams at Charlie Murphy Field in Yorktown Heights, Westchester County. And in fact, I mentioned that Husker logo, that Raider logo. It is on the back side of the Husker helmets. They had kind of phased the whole Raider thing out there for a while, but they've very much brought it back. Play action, fake, bring it near side, complete in the flat, bouncing down, now trying to get back on his feet, not even back near the original line of scrimmage. To the near side went Matt Variano, a senior. So a big 3rd and 13 coming up now at the John Jay 45-yard line. 7-0, John Jay on top. 7:40 to go in the first quarter.
You're getting a lot of football for your money's worth with the number of plays being run.
Max Costello comes out to the left. He's a tight end. The receiver goes out to the right. Santavica, though, on the near side, and they run it right up the middle. It's Boyer. Boyer to the left side. Outside the numbers. 45 yards. Touchdown, Yorktown. Jose Boyer on a big 3rd down, John, and a breakdown by John Jay. 45 yards to the house, and the extra point may not us.
Or they may go for 2. They're in that water bucket, muddle huddle, what you want to call it. Very old school formation here. They'll see if you adjust to the overload. If you don't adjust to the overload, they'll flip it out there and run old school single wing at you.
There we go. Some movement on the line on the John Jay side is going to bring a flag out. And that will indeed be encroachment.
See here, you get back in that muddle huddle, and you may as well, from a yard, why not try it? Because I'll tell you what, neither of these teams plans on this being a 7-6 game.
By the way, I'm still quite all right with it being the traditional put the ball down at the 10. I know the NFL has gone out to a different style, and I understand why, but I'm still okay with the traditional.
Well, I mean, it's a different
game.
level.
Oh, sure. Nicholas Sanderfino for the extra point. And we wait on that. Snap is good. Spot, kick, end over end. Got the distance, and we're knotted at 7. No, they're ruling it no good. He must have pulled it just a hair, John.
It looked good to me. I'm a little surprised at
I
that,
am as
but
well.
I don't have the vantage point that the officials do.
Yep, we're not down there on the field, so it's not for us to say, but in any event, 7-6 now our score.
If I was one of those guys who lives on 20/20 hindsight, which I'm not, I'd say, why didn't you shift back to water bucket and play that, pitch it out and try to get that yard?
That's one
You're
of the,
half the distance. It's a yard and a half.
That's one of those opening night things by me. I'm not used to keeping my eye glued to the official waiting for the arms to go up.
I will tell you, it looked good to me.
By the way, remember that whole pregame can't stand on this level of the booth? Everybody here has been great to us here at Yorktown High.
They really have.
Different stories. That's all.
They really have.
No, everybody's been great here. Adamak goes deep. And ready to kick it off is Dominic Chaffee. 7-6 our score with 7:18 to go in the first quarter. Here's the kickoff. It's short, but an end-over-ender that will be taken at the 15-yard line. Straight ahead, trying now to back his way in. That's James Day. And the junior able to get out near the 30-yard line.
He didn't see a path that he liked, Rob, so he slowed up, and that allowed him to get hit. He probably, had he run a little bit faster at it, would have found some place to go. He just didn't find an area he was comfortable running to.
I agree. First down for the Indians. At their own 30. Receivers to the near side. It'll be Adamak around, takes it outside the numbers, runs near the 49-yard line.
Talk about getting the edge uncontested.
That's a great burst.
I mean, wow. I mean, that's just a simple hand it off to a guy coming across the back of the formation, and nobody on the edge, no overhang, no alley.
And no chance to catch your breath. They're right back to it. And here he comes again, bouncing it to the outside. And he gets to the Yorktown 45, a gain of 5. 7-6 our score. Matt Lee, a 1-yard touchdown run, and then Jose Boyer for Yorktown returned the favor. However, the extra point was missed. So that's where we sit. Call it 2nd and 5. Faking the inside handoff. Lee just bounces ahead, and he's roughed up after a short gain taken down by Brett McCarr, the sophomore. Brett Makar, to be exact. Third, and 3. Shotgun set, receivers to each side. Now they'll set up trips to the right. Take a look back over to the far sideline. John Jay 1-0 coming into this game. Yorktown the same at 1-0. John Jay roughed up, though, coming into this game. A long snap count. Now they're ready, and they'll give it to Lee. Lee bounces left side, gets a block as he goes to the outside, and takes it to the 38-yard line. That is a first down. He had some open running room, and at the last moment, Brandon Miles came over and shut it down.
You had 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen closest to us, Rob. They only had one play, and over top of that, they floated the running back to the opposite side and came back at the pass-strong side.
Trips to the left, complete, and now dropped at the 44. The ball right in the basket of number 45, Kyle Edelman. But the senior could not hold on. 2nd and 10. 7-6, 5:37 to go in the first quarter at Yorktown High School. Ball on the near side hash. 1 receiver to the near side right, 2 to the left. Fake the handoff, and Lee gets roughed up. Yorktown needed a play, and they got it right there. A couple of guys in on the stop, including Anthony DeCanio, the junior.
That is one of those plays that kills a drive because now you're 3rd and 13.
Sitting at the Yorktown 40. Adamak goes in motion out of the backfield. Little pump fake, and down goes Lee at the 45.
Yorktown found something after John Jay's first drive because the amount of pressure they're getting in the backfield as soon as the ball is snapped is incrementally increased from that first drive.
Makar on the sack. And Weaver will go back to receive the punt as Shelby gets ready to boot it away in a 7-6 ball game. Spotted the ball at the 44. Minimal rush, does get it away. A boomer and a fair catch called, dropped, dove on top of, and taken at the 11-yard line. Call it 34 on the punt and no return.
What's the whistle behind the play here, Rob? Is there something behind the play? Or
I'm keeping an eye on it myself, but I don't think we have much to get excited about.
Okay.
It's a water break,
mandatory.
Okay. Yep, mandatory water break on a sticky night, which gives us a chance to settle back in here. Hard to believe it was so long ago. Our last football broadcast was actually a radio one oh so long ago, John.
Much colder day at Ken Strong Stadium in West Haven. The State Farm. What a great day of football.
Oh, that was a fun day. No, that was a fun day.
What a great day of football that was.
All the way back, gosh, we're talking December 13th, give or take. First down for the Indians. Right to left they go. Receivers to each side. Waiting, and the give goes inside. Santa Vica bounces it near side, breaks it, and gets spun down at the 39-yard line. For a moment, looked like he was going. Jake Loeb made the stop.
It shows how one attempt at an out-of-control tackle can spring a play, because that's what happened there. They had him at the edge, but the tackler was out of control, spun off the tackle, and then it was 20 yards before the next contact.
Backed him up to the 38, a gain of 27. A fake, now they'll run it themselves. It's Boyer again. Boyer splitting defenders. He's going to do it all over again. 62 yards, touchdown Yorktown.
He can pull that and run that at will. They have found a seam. They have found a seam in the John Jay defense, and they have followed the same path to the end zone now twice in the first 8 minutes and 6 seconds of this contest.
Sanfordino, the O not on my roster. And he is ready for the extra point try.
They're not going to try to make up the 2 on the earlier miss. They're going to settle for the 6-point lead.
They're going to fake it. Rolling right, flipping, end zone. Got him. Santa Vica in the back of the end zone, and the 2-pointer is good. 14-7. Beautifully thrown, John.
What a great play. They fooled me. They fooled everybody. We're on the 2 drags from the backside across. Boot out the holder. Beautiful, beautiful call.
Excellent play by the Yorktown Huskers, who now take a 14-7 lead. 3:54 to go, first quarter.
Yeah, I should have smelled that coming, to be honest with you. I really should have. I should have, but that's the thing. That you run that muddle huddle, and you force the defense to think about that. They're distracted by that. Then you line up. Okay, they're going to kick, and you run the bootleg and burn them for 2.
Here is the kickoff. Just a short, almost like a pooch coming down at the 26 and wrapped up near the 38-yard line. So a short gain for John Jay. It looked like Charlie Samuelson on the return, a senior.
So we are now on the 3rd John Jay possession, and we're just over 8 minutes into this game.
That's right. Mark Machado actually on the return.
You are going to see a lot of plays.
14-7, 3:48 to go, first quarter. Inside handoff and stuffed at the line of scrimmage. It's amazing. This crowd was just, it was too early to get 2 down as Adamek runs it for a yard to the 40, but the crowd was very dead early on. Now with these 2 touchdown drives by the Huskers, this place is nuts.
Early in the season, you got to stretch out. You can't do too much too early, Rob.
2nd and 8, they gave him 2. Near the 41. Fake the handoff, blow it up, and down goes Lee.
I don't think they fooled anybody with the jet motion.
How about Brett Makar? He's having a game.
How do you read it that well that you time it up? They tackled both the quarterback and the jet motion guy. Didn't matter if they were going to keep or give. That play was dead.
3rd and long, rolling right Lee, rolling, flips it high. He's got a man. Will they roll it incomplete? Yes, they will. At the 46, it would have been well short of a first down intended for Jake Loeb. Looking like 3 and out. Go the Indians. It is interesting, of course, to still hear the term Indians used for a team, but certainly a heavily Native American area, at least in the foundations of Westchester and Putnam counties. And so the moniker Indians rolls on really with minimal discussion or controversy about it in Cross River, home of the John Jay team. 2 John Jay teams in this area. Here is the kick. High, spinning kick. Fair catch called for. And Weaver takes it at the 31.
Good job by Weaver sticking with that under heavy pressure. It's easy as a returner to get distracted. He managed to make the catch, saves his team 20, 30 yards in field position.
And, of course, up the line, really within an hour's drive of here, not very far at all, in Hopewell Junction, East Fishkill, is John Jay. Again, John Jay, East Fishkill in that case, but both schools go by John Jay. One is the Patriots, and one is the Indians that you're looking at right here. I bet you'll never guess what young man will go to John Jay High School in East Fishkill, New York. John Kovach.
I have an idea.
I bet you do. In fact, that young man is maybe 15 minutes away in a town with another Indian mascot. A first down.
That is true. Mayapack.
At the 31-yard line. That is correct. A proud Mayapack Indian off the right side. And around the right side, Boyer again. Outside the numbers, 20, 10, a show. Jose Boyer, touchdown Yorktown.
Motion set up that play. They had everything stretched out to the right side. They put it back in motion and then put him in slide motion. So he's parallel to the line of scrimmage. He's sliding. He's just there to be a lead blocker, and he springs it.
They'll go for the extra point all over again. Kyle Casey, who threw that conversion earlier, is the holder. And Sanfordino on for the extra point. He has yet to convert one. He's 0 of 1. Waiting. Snap is good. Spot. Kick. It is up. And it is good. 2:21 to go in the first quarter. What a show by John Jay. They put up, as we said, 34. As we look at it again, we can look at it here. And he did so right there. 21-7.
Man, catch your breath.
Yeah.
Get a drink. You good with hydration? It's important. You know, we're very conscious of that. I'll tell you what, the pace is.
It's good. Adamak will take this one as he waits for it at the 17. Near side, gets burst into at the 31. He ran into a truck, and it's Nicholas Sanfordino.
The coverage, spectacular. Stayed their lane, did their assignments. The Gunners on top of the return before he can think about doing anything.
2:15 to go. First quarter.
It's still the first quarter, by the way.
Yes, it is.
No 50-point rule in New York?
No. How about that? Here comes a blitzing man off the near side, but able to flip it out is Lee. And still, John Jay unable to advance the ball.
Yeah, Yorktown figured something out after that first John Jay drive.
Adamak in the flat, shut down at the 27. Weaver made the stop. Under 2 to go in a blistering first quarter. Waiting on second and a long 10. High and almost intercepted off the fingertips. Early on, things not going well for Kyle Edelman. That's the second one he's dropped.
Well, they're trying to find a hole in the defense. They know they're sending pressure. Send somebody out, have them settle in there.
Right.
Patriots make a living off it in the NFL. They did last night. Ball just thrown a little hard for him.
A man in motion comes to the near side. Yorktown looking to adjust. The play fake and the throw, and almost caught down the far side. A little frustration shown by the Indians off that far side. So it goes incomplete. 21-7. Yorktown on top of John Jay with a minute and a half to go in the first quarter.
Okay, now if you're Yorktown, do you think about going after this punt? Because they got good pressure on the last one.
Right now, I feel like you almost should, but
you're going to get good field position, though. Look at where your returner's outside his own 40.
Weaver waiting at the 41. They do back off. It's dropped. Now it's picked up. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. And down goes the punter. Perry Shelby never stood a chance. Great field position for Yorktown. As Anthony Pinella the senior linebacker came in and shut things down.
What I found interesting in that set is how spread out Yorktown was. They really, really were all over the place. So we're taking a protect the punter.
1:23 to go first quarter. 21-7 is our score. Yorktown leading John Jay. Two receivers will come near side right. One goes out to the left. Beg your pardon, as it goes up. I said John Jay. I meant to say Yorktown, as they went from right to left as Santa Vica takes it. We have not gotten in a whole lot to Santa Vica. And an interesting story in that you bring up the name Santa Vica in Yorktown, and you just remember really good times football-wise for this football program. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7, as we're finally under a minute to go in the first quarter. Shotgun snap for Boyer, comes near side. He's run for 3 touchdowns already. He's thinking about throwing in the right. He flips it. This is intercepted at the 3. He had no business throwing that ball, and certainly forgivable for Boyer, as he's made no mistakes so far until just now. But the interception picked off by Jackson Rieger.
But that was forced. He had nobody there. He had clear coverage. I think he just tried to make something happen. That was do that. You can make that throw 100. The bad news for John Jay, they're on their own 2.
They are in the white uniforms. Adamak will go out of the backfield, set up over toward the slot. He'll stay deep, far out to the left side, though, in the backfield. 42 seconds to go first quarter, 21-7.
Switching up the play.
3 receivers go to that left side in the end zone. He's got to get rid of it. Lee throws it, fires left and high and out of bounds.
That was a great catch by I think it's the clip guy on the chain crew. That was spectacular.
That was nicely done.
That's the best catch we've seen tonight. And here's the thing, about you talk spread offense, everybody thinks you're throwing the ball. All this damage being done on the ground.
So 2nd and 10. And the ball down closer to the 4, but they've got it marked on the scoreboard at the 3. They know what they're doing.
I think it's closer to the 2 than anything else, to be honest with you.
34 seconds to go, first quarter, shotgun snap. They're going to inside handoff, now hold on to it. Lee loses it. Touchdown, Yorktown. If they give it to him, they will. Yorktown putting on a show on the fumble return. And it's 27-7.
Down for Yorktown.
And the extra point for Sanfordino. The long wait. Now the snap, spot, kick. Shifting to his right, and it is good. Yorktown filling up the scorecard early. 28 unanswered. And 25 seconds remaining in the opening frame.
Yeah, it's really hard, Rob, to not forget that John Jay had a 7-0 lead.
Yeah.
Early in this game.
So John Jay is going to try to figure something out. Jimmy Clark grabs his entire team. I mentioned Santa Vica, and Nick Santa Vica is the nephew of the legendary head coach here at Yorktown, Ron Santa Vica. In the 90s to the early 2000s, the Santa Vica name and Ron Santa Vica and Yorktown High were just an outstanding football program. Back-to-back state championships in 1993 and 94.
Football's about family more than anything else, I think, Rob.
I
And
agree.
I love stories like that.
I agree. Here is the kickoff. A line drive that's going to bounce, and Adamak's going to watch it roll out of bounds at the 14-yard line. Sanovica was the man who was largely responsible for that whole change in culture to get that Husker logo that I mentioned a couple of times now that looks very much like a Raider logo. They went to the silver and black, and really they just dominated this town. As a guy who has lived in this area my entire life, you were seeing plenty of presence of the silver and black of the Yorktown Cornhuskers as they were known back then, but they shortened it to Huskers on the uniforms at that time.
And it's the typeface very close to Nebraska's, if not identical.
Yeah. They have brought just the green back into the uniform.
It's a nice look.
Yeah. 25 to go in the first, 28-7, shotgun set, going left Lee. Adamak out of the backfield, 40-45, and he's knocked out of bounds with a little shove at the 49-yard line. Good job over there, and a first down for John Jay. And look, after you've been battered for 28 points, the easiest response is first downs and moving the ball.
Take what you can get. That's what a lot of the spread is, Rob, is take what you can get. There they know they've had the swing. You may as well throw it and see what Adamak can get.
Play action over the middle and dropped. Had a man at the 36-yard line. It was intended for Jackson Rieger, who, of course, had the interception a little while ago.
I'll tell you what, I haven't had a chance to single him out in terms of watching on the field. That post had a real danger of going had he caught that.
2nd and 10 at the John Jay 49. A man comes in motion now. And the fake will be on the inside handoff, bouncing and staying inside the numbers as Adamak as he takes it around the left side, across the border into Yorktown territory at the 47, and that should be the end of the first quarter, and it is. What a quarter for the Yorktown Huskers as they put up 28 unanswered points, and they take a 28-7 lead into the intermission break.
That was an offensive explosion.
Very impressive.
We got 12 minutes left before the half.
We'll take a timeout, second quarter, right after this. 28-7, Yorktown leads John Jay High School football on the HAN.Network.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2 and more are in stock and ready to go at the Dock Shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The Dock Shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road.
Start of the second quarter at Yorktown High School with John Kovach, our entire crew. I'm Rob Adams. Here's Lee to throw right side, adjusting. Wonderful catch. Will they give it to him? They do at the 16-yard line. Again, you've got to do what you can and take what you're given, and Jake Loeb a first down.
Actually, a great call coming out of the quarter intermission. Get in the one-on-one, see what you can do.
28-7, Yorktown leading John Jay. And now we'll get a flag to fly, and one would guess. And I'll look for confirmation. And it's against John Jay.
Substitution infraction.
So that will back up the Indians, and the Indians need all the help they can get.
That's a tough one because you just had a huge play. You want to come right up and just hit him again from the line, and you get a whistle and get backed up 5 for something that really was preventable.
A loss of 5, receivers to each side. Give it to Adamak around the right side, and he's pulled out of bounds at the 20. A gain of 2. 11:31 to go in the first half. Opening night for us, not opening night in New York. Shotgun snap, rolling to the left. Lead a throw, fires, had nobody near the 9.
You want a triangle on a pattern like that where you're doing that flood concept and sending all 3 receivers. You had all 3 receivers in a line there, so the coverage was fairly easy.
Why Matt Lee is playing tonight is a story in and of itself. And J.B. Cousins gave us great stuff before the game. He really
was a wealth of information.
I know he can't have him at every game, but boy, J.B. is awesome. Here's a give going left side to Day. Day trying to find Daylight. He won't. Out of bounds.
That's a lot of east-west for nothing.
Knocked out of bounds by number 55 of the Huskers, Justin Cavallo, a junior. But anyway, senior quarterback of the Indians, Hunter Keach, completed 21 of 32 for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns. There's a day for you, my friend. He sat out the fourth
quarter.
In
your New York Fantasy League, Rob?
Seriously. He sat out the fourth quarter after taking a blow to the head. Chris Ioria also suffered a head injury, and Braden Burke, the top receiver, suffered a broken tibia. Now a field goal try coming up.
Sherby's got a leg. I saw that in warm-ups. And John Jay needs a timeout.
Yep. It will be a 35-yarder when we resume. Second timeout spent by the Indians. We mentioned there are 2 teams in the wonderful Hudson Valley of New York that are known as the Indians. Of course, we told you, John Jay right out in front of us. But if you are unfamiliar, the team to the north as you pass Lakeland High School and cross into Putnam County, Mahopac High School, also still known as the Indians. And Mahopac, absolutely a Native American phrasing discussing the large lake that sits right at the very heart of a town that was known in the 20th century up until the 1950s and 60s for being a resort town. Many grand, great hotels dotted Lake Mahopac for just dozens of years. Fire and, well, eventually time just took them all away. But
it sounds like you're telling the history of Northwest New Jersey where I grew up. It's the exact same thing. Lakes, a resort town.
Going for it are the Indians, complete over the middle and a first down. What a great call to find a man on a seam right up the middle and a first down. James Day with the catch.
Great call, spectacular. But he found the hole in the coverage and got there.
Receivers to each side. At the 4, it's Lee himself to the end zone. Touchdown.
Great job. He pulled that, runs counter to the action. John Jay has life.
From 4 yards out, Matt Lee with his second run.
I will say, you mentioned earlier the atmosphere here. Man, when John Jay scores, this place gets quiet.
Yeah, sure does.
It really does. And you're surrounded by woods here, so it can get a little spooky.
Yeah. At the very, very back corner of this Yorktown High School campus. Extra point try coming up. As Perry Shelby will boot it up and no good.
Yeah, pushed it left.
So 2 missed extra points, 1 for each squad now. And our score sits at 28-13. To finish the point very briefly and somewhat personally, on the west side of Mahopac, there's a part of the town known as Lake Secor. Again, that was also a resort area, and really not so much resort, but kind of the cabins of the day of the 1930s. And in those 1930s, a family came up from Hartsdale to summer occasionally before permanently making their home there, and that is how I became a resident of Mahopac. My grandparents came up in the 30s, and away we go.
How's Mahopac going to be this year since we're in New York
Very
doing
good.
Football?
The Indians look outstanding under their head coach, Tom Donahue, this year. He's been there quite a while now. And the Indians do look like they will be quite good. The Indians used to play the John Jay Indians.
there's nothing better than calling a game when both teams have the same nickname. I'll tell you that from experience.
Absolutely. Here is the kickoff. Booming kick that's going to go into the end zone as Santa Vica watches it go 5 yards deep. 28-13, Yorktown on top of John Jay with 11:03 to go in the first half. Yorktown divided up into a couple of school districts. It is a large town with the hamlet of Yorktown Heights, which we are technically on the fringe of. Really, the main shopping district is Yorktown Heights, just to our east, as you go out routes 202 and 35 to the Triangle. And that's where the Triangle Shopping Center is, which for many years actually had a Lloyd's Lumber in it for a long time, and then a few other things, now an A&P.
Lord, you're a wealth of information.
There was a Caldor that just down the road. Shotgun snap, the give from Boyer, goes up the middle, and a little burst to get to the 22-yard line. Oh, yeah, I've got quite a few memories of Yorktown Heights. In fact, my son Sean, his grandparents still live here in Yorktown Heights, right off of Gomer Street. Not the only one on our crew to have a Yorktown connection, though. 10:33 to go in the first half. Give goes to Santa Vica, right side, following his blocks, breaks it inside, and the all-time rushing leader here at Yorktown gets it near the 37-yard line.
He's quick. It's a good thing he did. Somebody passed up a block right at the edge. Tackler again came across under control and missed. It's twice now, very visibly, that an out-of-control tackle by John Jay has given Yorktown the edge in a big game.
10:19 to go in the first half. 28-13 Huskers. Fake to Santa Vica. Here comes Boyer again, except he is roughed up across the 40 at the 41-yard line as he's taken down by number 50 of the Indians, Griffin Wallach, and Ethan Zimleys there as well.
I am trying to get a number, Rob, and I don't know who it was, but one of the linemen for Yorktown, and I wish I could single him out, just had a pancake right at the point of attack.
28-13, shotgun set. Santa Vica left side, waits, turns, brings it back. Here comes Marcus Allen as he turns it, stays inside the numbers. Santa Vica up the middle. 35-25, there he goes, off to the races. Touchdown, Yorktown from 59. The officials are conferring. Hold the phone. And it's coming back.
There was a block there that I wasn't sure if it was in the back or not, or if I wasn't sure if they were going to flag that or not. And there's a lot of new rules on that, Rob, in terms of disengaging once the play is past you. They're really focused on that nationally this year, not only up in Connecticut where we regularly are, where they're calling these late blocks in the back behind the play. You've got to let up, and the John Jay sideline not happy with this.
So a 10-yard penalty against the Huskers, and it'll move the ball back to the Yorktown 31-yard line on the far side hash. 28-13 our score.
The rule is supposed to be that if you stay engaged, you're safe. But I saw a call last week where a player was engaged and a player from the defense ran up his own player's back. That got flagged because they're erring on the side of caution. Sorry, Rob.
9:29 to go in the first half in a 28-13 ball game. So second and long now. Rolling right, Boyer. Still rolling, Jose Boyer. Almost like he was going to throw, but you could see he had the ball tucked away. But that little stutter step almost made you think that he was going to stop and kind of toss it, but he did not.
I think he thought it. I think if he had a receiver open, he was going to treat it like a pitch on the option and give you one of those little overhand lobs and just pick up what he could. I think the window closed.
Nick Santavica, 1,726 yards last year, 13 touchdowns. Last week he went for 181 yards, 2 touchdowns on 15 carries as he became Yorktown's all-time leading rusher. In fact, Yorktown ran up 326 yards on the ground, and they're pretty solid tonight as well. 28-13, 9:19 to go in the first half. A man will come in motion. Now he'll stop, and the handoff will go to Sanavica. Tried to run over people as he gets to the 35, but it will set up still a long play here, and the punting team will come on.
Yeah, they started jet motion across from the offense's left to right, and then shut it down and ran back from toward where the motion started. They really do a lot of playing around with shifting formations and motions. Very creative offense.
So on comes the kicking team. Waiting deep for a kick. Here it comes. Spinning kick. This will bounce away with no thought of a return. Will it get downed? It's touched at the 1. Will they rule it there? You bet.
What a play. What a great play. That's coverage.
28-13 and bad field position for John Jay as they try to climb back into this ball game. Tim Murphy, JB Cousins, AJ Szymanowski, Eric Gendron, Tracy Azy, Marty Hersam, Josh Fisher, John Kovach, myself. Big crew on hand here tonight at Yorktown High School. And I think I'm missing somebody, John.
Yeah, you are. I'm trying to. We'll get everybody a halftime.
But I wanted to make sure I gave as many folks as I could a shout out here. Bad field position for the Indians and a first down at their own 1. Shotgun snap. They will hand it off, push it up the middle. Nothing fancy. Just try to push near the 3.
They can't get fancy. They cannot lose another fumble this deep.
You mean like a great opening drive and you go for a trick play? That got a laugh out of Eric Gendron, who needed to laugh.
I missed that play, by the way. I was still tied up.
That's my only reference to a football game nationally last night that almost sent a clipboard through a television set. Second down, quick play action pass, and the throw is incomplete. High pass intended for Mark Machado, the junior receiver. It'll bring up third down.
I'll tell you what, if Weaver had focused on the ball and not trying to light up his receiver, I think he's got a pick 6. And I did text Rob, I'll talk to Eric Gendron, who's off mic here, when Darius Haywood Bay showed his knowledge of field situation and position.
My response was simple. I have no idea. Here's a lead on third down. Bounces it to the outside, tries to turn it, and he can't quite do it as he can't get back near the 10-yard line.
He plants and comes back to his left toward us. He did have a seam. He didn't see it.
Again, 28-13 our score here at Charlie Murphy Stadium in Yorktown. So a 4th and 6, and the Indians will punt it away. Let's see if Yorktown brings the house on Shelbury, who is 8 yards deep. Low snap goes through his legs. It's a safety.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure that's the worst outcome. I am not sure that's the worst outcome, Rob, because now he's got some breathing room. Now they have some room to punt.
So, with 7:08 to go in the first half, it's now a 30-13 ball game.
So I think Yorktown needs what? The field goal and a return, and they've scored in every way possible, right?
Yeah.
And we have a discussion on the field with the Yorktown head coach and the officials.
All wearing these light blue T-shirts with Yorktown on the front and 14 on the back. Yorktown as a team showing support for a young lady in the community, and the story written by Joe Lombardi pointed it out to me, a wonderful reporter here in Westchester County that I've known for a long time. And a GoFundMe page has been set up for this young woman battling cancer, young lacrosse player, Brielle Fursey, a 15-year-old, diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer.
It's awful.
So the GoFundMe page has been set up at gofundme.com/Brielle's benefit. Reading from the story, it has been established and already $26,000 has been donated in 2 days, and I printed the story out yesterday. Here's the kickoff. Big boot. Yorktown will grab it at their 21. Near side, Santa Vica breaks one tackle. Keep the legs moving to the 46. Fursey initially had nausea, a loss of energy and appetite, but a lump on her stomach, John, was determined to be a tumor that grew to 2.5 pounds and was removed from her abdomen. 3 to 4 cycles of chemotherapy for 9 to 12 weeks in this particular story written by Sam Barron. Just, heartbreaking. We wish her well. Brielle Fursey. Go look her up. Do what you can for her GoFundMe page. A brave young woman, lacrosse player. And that is why, if you spy teal ribbons on the back of the Yorktown helmets, that is why they're wearing them. Brielle, we're all rooting for you.
Yeah, let's share that GoFundMe link as much as we can there, Rob.
6:57 to go in the first half. Back to live action. Burst up the middle, and it goes to the 47-yard line. Certainly puts it all in perspective for us, of course, as the run comes up the middle by Scott Weaver. So, 2nd and 9, and the ball on the near side hash. 30 to 13, I beg your pardon. Yorktown with a 17-point lead. A receiver goes out to the far side left, trips out there, in fact. Near side empty. Waiting, Boyer, play action. Now he runs near side, flips to an open man, makes a one-handed catch. 30 down the right side, and away he goes. Touchdown. Max Costello, the tight end, the junior, and another touchdown of nearly 50, and the extra point on the way.
God, the big plays don't stop. I was looking, thinking, why hasn't he thrown it? He's missed his opportunity, and then somebody settles in an open area. There they go. We're going to take another look at this. And another score.
As Sanfordino boots it through, John, and what a ball game so far for Yorktown High. They take a 37-13 lead. And that is where the safety, as we said, maybe not the worst play in the world at the moment, but it did give Yorktown the ball again, so you get 9 points right off of that.
It's not the worst play in the world if you stop them after the free kick.
Right.
They didn't do that.
That is correct.
If you trade the 2 points, get some breathing room, and make the stop, that's great. On the other hand, from the offensive perspective, if you get the 2 points, take the free kick, and then punch another one in right away, you can sap momentum pretty well.
Yeah. So the kickoff coming up, John Jay sending 2 deep. I have to admit, when I put it on the calendar and even in the minutes leading up to it, I didn't see this. Despite the injuries, I just did not see 37-13, 6:12 to go before intermission. Yorktown ready to kick it off in the black, green, and white. And there's the kick. Spiraling down to Adamek back at the 13. Runs along the hash marks, carries tacklers, and gets near the 33.
Had a good wedge, tried to sneak out from behind it and find some open area. That's when he got caught.
So first down for John Jay. They'll set up near the far side hash. 3 receivers out to the right, and a receiver will take it on that far sideline, trying to break a tackle. Maybe right back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a stretch for a yard. Looked like Jake Loeb on the reception to the far side. Second and 9. Give him about a half yard. Will be nice. We're thoughtful like that. Shotgun snap, blitz coming, and here's a whistle to stop us. So with the flags down, let's see. And it's a false start against the Indians.
And they've been flagged for the only penalties thus far tonight, correct?
Yorktown has 2 for 15.
My bad.
By my count, John Jay has 3 for 11, but I could be off on that one. When we do what we do, we try to keep the most basic of numbers to at least give you something to add a little flavor up the middle.
There's no basic numbers tonight, Ryan.
To get to the 33 is Adamak a short gain. No, that's for sure. So again, we remind you, Brielle Fursey, go find her GoFundMe page. Every time I glance at these T-shirts and these ribbons on the back of the Husker helmets, I can't help but think of it. Here's a pass down the right side and a little long and incomplete. Intended for Loeb near the 35. Double coverage back there for the Huskers.
Yeah, kind of forced that throw a little bit. Loeb was in double coverage, and he only had half a stride on them.
4:51 to go first half, 37-13 Yorktown. I mentioned Yorktown as a very large town, very large community, the very top end of Westchester County before you do cross into the town of Carmel and Putnam Valley in Putnam County, as we'll wait on the punt. And a long wait. Now it's snapped. Trying to get it off, and he does. Boy, there was pursuit off the near side, the big rush, and the fair catch called for at the 30, near the 29 as Weaver made the reception. But 2 high schools in the town of Yorktown, as I've said a couple of times now. One, of course, is Yorktown High. The other is Lakeland High, which is up in Shrub Oak, still a part of Yorktown. Then there's a third school off in Cortland Manor, which is Walter Pana's. Now, you would think if you were a lacrosse program and you needed to co-op, you'd be Yorktown and Lakeland, right? No, you would not. You would be Lakeland and Walter Pana's.
Why is that?
The Lakeland Pana's team, they're all part, essentially, of the same school district. Yorktown is its own district, while Lakeland and Pana's is one large school district with 2 high schools. A little confusing considering there are 2 towns involved as this goes up the middle near the 32. So Lakeland Pana's has been known as the Rebels, and they've co-opted in several sports, but they stay as a co-op in lacrosse. And this is when I say this is a big lacrosse area, that is an understatement.
Has been for some time.
Goes back about 30 years, and it's the reason that there's a name on this very stadium. Second down and long. To the near side comes Sanavica. Sanavica breaks it back into the secondary. Right side, breaks a tackle, spins, 25 and down. Finally wrapped up by James Day. But a penalty marker looks like it is bringing it all the way back. The gentleman in the striped shirts and the shorts will let us know. Mike Rosigno and his staff not thrilled. They were very nice to us before the game as well. I saw them talking with A.J. Szymanowski to make sure that we weren't in their way in any way, shape, or form, and they were more than happy to be accommodating. As the penalty will get walked off, and it is holding against the Huskers. Penalty number 3 against the black, white, and green. So back to the 32 it goes. And an official timeout with a 4-minute break. Very much a New York thing.
You get the 4-minute warning in Connecticut and most places if it's a game without a clock.
Right.
Here it looks like they're doing it almost as a water break, which isn't the worst thing in the world early in the season when it's been as hot and humid as it's been.
No, but it is a common rule in New York to take the 4-minute break. But as you mentioned, quite common if you're dealing without a clock. And certainly Section 1 has some very nice facilities, which is what we are in. This is Section 1. And other facilities, are a little long in the tooth with a grass field or a scoreboard that's not exactly operational, or grass that has the basic lines at best, to be polite. This is a good facility, though, Charlie Murphy Field. Charlie Murphy described as a true lacrosse pioneer. Again, reading from Joe Lombardi. 2nd and 13 now. Near the 27. And the give goes right and thrown down is Sanavica. John Jay has needed a play for a while, and they got one there from Halil Gasai as he blew that play up. Puts the ball back down near the 23-yard line. Again, J.B. Cousins, all the credit in the world for helping me understand how to pronounce Mr. Gasai's last name. It's the little things that count, John.
That they do.
3rd and a lot. Back near the Yorktown 23, but they lead 37-13, 3:13 to go in the half. Sanavica going in motion from the near to far side. He'll line up off the left side of the line. Boyer will just take it himself. 3 touchdowns on the ground. Brings it back now, spins it outside with a flag down, and away he goes near the 29. Let's see what the flag is about, though, back at the 27.
Oh, it's a pretty blatant block in the back, right at point of attack.
Yeah, to say the least. You're smart enough to notice those things. I wait for the guys in the stripes just to make it official. But I'm glad you know.
I always want to see if what I saw matches the call.
Oh, I agree. Good call. They will call it illegal use of hands.
They declined.
Yep,
sorry.
It has been refused by John Jay, so Yorktown will punt it away. 2:56 to go in the first half. 24-point deficit, 37-13. So they'll wait to punt it away. A long call. There's the snap. Move it to the right, and he gets it away. Spiraling kick that now takes a friendly bounce. John Jay backs away from it. The Huskers will let it roll down near the 33-yard line. 2:41 to go in the first half. I mentioned folks in Yorktown related to our broadcast crew, and certainly greetings sent to Eric Gendron's family. Eric's wife, in fact, who I finally got to meet tonight. Lovely. Don't know what she's doing with him, but we like him anyway. She is from Yorktown, attended Lakeland High School, she was telling me. I saw what looked like other members of her family up here in the booth for a while to say hello. Here's the shotgun snap, and Adamak off the right side breaks one tackle, gets to the outside, and is thrown down after a gain of about 4 near the 36-yard line. 2.5 to go in the first half, 37-13 Yorktown.
Slowest we've seen John Jay operate on offense.
I agree. 2nd and 7 with just about 2 to go in the half. Long call, now taking it, looking, throwing right side and incomplete. Long ball intended for Loeb. Didn't give you the real full fashion report on John Jay. It is a purple number that they use, kind of a slanted, italicized number in a block style. White pants with purple piping. And the helmet has the number on the side. And John Jay on the front of the jersey above those uniform numbers. That has been their color scheme for a long time. Snap, rolling right, Lee throws. He just throws a duck that bounces out of bounds, and here comes the flag.
Yeah, the fans don't agree with that one. I don't know that I do either.
Joey Costello appears to be the offending player. And that will definitely get some tough love from Mike Rosigno and his crew on the Yorktown side.
Oh, no, I do agree with this call. It's intentional grounding.
Sure, and that was my first impression, was that it was intentional grounding.
I heard the come on from the stands, and I thought it was a roughing the passer, which I would have disagreed with.
I agree.
I absolutely thought it was intentional grounding.
Yep. Was not out of the pocket, just threw it away. So they make that call, and it's 4th down.
There's little creative ways to get away with that, too.
There is.
Just throw it toward a eligible receiver. Hit somebody in the back.
4th penalty against the Indians.
And another punt for John Jay.
Here it comes. They do get it away. Santa Vico off the near side almost blew it up, but this will bounce favorably for the Indians and be downed at the 44-yard line. Downed by Mark Machado. Started telling you about Charlie Murphy. He helped found the Cornhuskers boys lacrosse team in 1965. And the school has gone on to win multiple state titles since then, over 25 sectional titles, and has produced just a whole number of high school, college All-Americans, professional world team players, coaches, all levels of play. And yet, John Kovach, Charlie Murphy never coached a single game here.
That's really cool that he had that kind of impact to have the field named after him.
Blown right up the middle. It looked like Santa Vica, and it was, to the 49.
This is going to be run right at the heart of the defense. If something breaks, great. If not, let's get to the locker room. Up 24.
1:11 to go in the half. 37-13 Yorktown. Not Santa Vica. Boyer and a little play fake, then runs it to the near side. Looking for touchdown number 4. He's run out of bounds at the 33-yard line and a 1st down.
I got to tell you, I actually was looking at the dive on that. I never thought he'd pull. I thought they'd run the dive again and keep that clock running. They're not holding back.
There's more to it about Charlie Murphy, and I remember some of it from 20, 25, 30 years ago. Shotgun snap and the give. Santa Vica can't break out this time, and he's taken down at the 35. Down to 53 to go in the half. Players were always invited to Mr. Murphy's home on White Hill Road, roughly for 40 years. Rolling right, Boyer throws, finds a man, and put down at the 30-yard line.
Yorktown did something there that offensive coaches, and Yorktown calls a timeout here, that offensive coaches often harp on their quarterbacks to do. They were set. The John Jay defense still scrambling around trying to adjust. You don't have to wait for the defense. Take the advantage.
First timeout taken by the Huskers as Makar made the catch to get to the 28-yard line. And I always remember that, whether it was the Yorktown players or the Lakeland players, always welcome to Charlie Murphy's home, a gentleman born in 1912. Graduated with a bachelor's from Princeton in 1934, which is where he played lacrosse. In 3 Hall of Fames, in fact. And eventually, the annual game between Lakeland and Panis and Yorktown is named after Charlie Murphy, as is this field. Flipped to the left side and incomplete. Intended for Santa Vica near the 31. 25 seconds to go in the first half.
Quarterback and receiver not on the same page there. Ideally, normally you would want to see the back bubble back, swing back, and then catch that ball behind the line of scrimmage, heading toward the line. There he kind of just darted out, never looked back, the ball behind him. So I'm not sure that route was run exactly the way it was drawn up.
25 seconds remaining. Yorktown coming up now across the 30 with a fourth down play at the John Jay 28. Boyer to Makar, makes the catch, but he is grabbed and put down immediately by Loeb at the 25. He needed to get to the 23, so he misses it by 2, and they turn it over on downs with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Great concentration by Makar. That ball bounced off his hands. He managed to make a one-handed snag and then hold it to his shoulder and chest as he went down and get the completion. Just came up a little bit short.
John Jay, time for a play or two.
They have, what do they have on timeouts?
I believe one.
Yes.
They took 2 earlier, which 3 minus 2 is 1. Shotgun snap for Lee. He's going to throw a deep ball, trying to adjust. Little connection, but it falls incomplete. Intended for Rieger and coverage by Myers.
They've run that little fade that go up the sideline, and they've overthrown it 3 or 4 times.
11 seconds remaining in the first half. 37-13. Second and 10. At the 25 in John Jay territory. From right to left they go. Adamak off the right side. Gets pushed down and thrown down near the 29. They will roll the clock down to the end of the first half, and that should be the end of the half. Let's see if the officials concur. And that is indeed the end of the first half. So the Yorktown Huskers will take a 37-13 lead into the break over the John Jay Indians, and John Kovach, very impressive, the job that Yorktown has done so far.
That was the definition of an onslaught.
It was
the end of that first quarter, beginning of the second.
It was a 7-0 lead for John Jay on the opening drive, but Yorktown really put a hurting on him after that, 28 unanswered. So halftime here at Charlie Murphy Stadium, and our halftime score, the Yorktown Huskers 37, the John Jay Indians 13. We will take a break, come back with some halftime activities, and continue on from Yorktown, New York, 37-13, Yorktown leading John Jay on the HAN.Network.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark Building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2, and more are in stock and ready to go at the dock shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The dock shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The dock shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is now accepting applications for its 2015 camps. Our elite faculty of NFL coaches and top professionals teach position-specific on the field and in the classroom to improve your football IQ and help you reach your full potential as a player. Apply today at footballuniversity.org. Football University, where technique plus talent beats talent alone.
Carl Chevrolet is proud to sponsor HAN.Network's coverage of the area's best high school sports. No matter the sport, competition in the FCIAC is spirited, so get out and cheer on your favorite team. If you can't make it to the game, be sure to bring HAN.Network with you to keep up with the action. Visit Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com. Kaikote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Kaikote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Kaikote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark.
The fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait in the Long Island Sound. This is the time to visit the New England coast, and the Dock Shop can get you outfitted with the latest fishing gear, jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece. Boater, beach bum, fishermen simply love the New England coast. This is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2, and more are in stock and ready to go at the Dock Shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The Dock Shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is now accepting applications for its 2015 camps. Our elite faculty of NFL coaches and top professionals teach position-specific on the field and in the classroom to improve your football IQ and help you reach your full potential as a player. Apply today at footballuniversity.org. Football University, where technique plus talent beats talent alone.
Carl Chevrolet is proud to sponsor HAN.Network's coverage of the area's best high school sports. No matter the sport, competition in the FCIAC is spirited, so get out and cheer on your favorite team. If you can't make it to the game, be sure to bring HAN.Network with you to keep up with the action. Visit Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com. Katonah Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Katonah's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Katonah Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation Landmark.
The fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait in the Long Island Sound. This is the time to visit the New England coast, and the Dock Shop can get you outfitted with the latest fishing gear, jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece. Boater, beach bum, fishermen simply love the New England coast. This is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express, open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2, and more are in stock and ready to go at the Dock Shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The Dock Shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Football University, the nation's leading football training experience, is now accepting applications for its 2015 camps. Our elite faculty of NFL coaches and top professionals teach position-specific on the field and in the classroom to improve your football IQ and help you reach your full potential as a player. Apply today at footballuniversity.org. Football University, where technique plus talent beats talent alone.
Carl Chevrolet is proud to sponsor HAN.Network's coverage of the area's best high school sports. No matter the sport, competition in the FCIAC is spirited, so get out and cheer on your favorite team. If you can't make it to the game, be sure to bring HAN.Network with you to keep up with the action. Visit Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com. Katonah Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Katonah's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Katonah Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark.
The fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait in the Long Island Sound. This is the time to visit the New England coast, and the Dock Shop can get you outfitted with the latest fishing gear, jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece. Boater, beach bum, fishermen simply love the New England coast. This is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com. The fall...
Welcome back to Yorktown High School. John Kovach with Rob Adams, a whole host of others. The HAN.Network bringing you New York State High School football. The Huskers with a 24-point lead over visiting John Jay, 37-13. Rob, we got 2.5 minutes left in this halftime. Is that enough time for you to do a recap of all we saw in the first half?
The bigger question, John, is it enough time for the John Jay football team to figure out how to stop Yorktown in the second half? Matt Lee, a 1-yard touchdown run, made it 7-0 John Jay with 9:09 to go in the first, but quickly Jose Boyer put on a show from 45, 62, and 69 yards, and just like that, it was 21-7. Then right before the first break, a fumble recovery made it 28-7. John Jay got a 4-yard touchdown run from Matt Lee to make it 28-13 early second quarter. But a safety as the ball rolled out of the back of the end zone as the Indians were in punt formation right through the wickets of Perry Shelby, the punter, and then Max Costello caught a 53-yard catch and run from Jose Boyer, who has run for 3, thrown 1, responsible for a whole lot of offense, in 37-13, our halftime score.
Whole lot of big plays, Rob. Whole lot of big plays. Whole lot of big plays.
Yep.
And the hometown Huskers coming back on the field.
So certainly very impressive by the Huskers as they come back out to a huge round of applause from this hometown crowd. It's opening night for the Huskers in terms of their home season. And a little pickup football game off to our right, little off-site of camera, so can't show it to you, but I'm just spying it out of the press box window here under some floodlights off to the far side from where we're positioned.
Always. Every time you go to a football game, I don't care how young the kids who are playing are, there's a pickup game going someplace.
I did it myself for sure at Mahopac High School when I was a kid as well, and I didn't go to a whole lot of games, but enough certainly to play a pickup game or two in the end zone and get yelled at.
There you go.
It's a rite of passage.
And by the way, this is the best song on the original Rocky soundtrack, just to get that out there. That's what we're hearing here in the stadium.
Excellent point. Let you hear it a little bit.
What a great movie.
Oh, the original, there's still nothing like it.
So good.
Yep.
So good.
The original is still the best. Just absolutely wonderful. As Yorktown goes through their warm-ups, a somewhat beleaguered John Jay returns. And again, injuries did not help John Jay. Matt Lee doing his best, and not that he hasn't been serviceable, but it's just been a battle of really, I mean, you just watch John Jay come out. They don't have the numbers and the depth, for one thing, that Yorktown has. And then when you lose Hunter Keach, your starting senior quarterback, you lose Chris Ioria to a head injury, you lose Braden Burke. I mean, those are big injuries.
Yeah, if you don't have depth, one injury can hurt you. 3 can just decimate you, and that sounds like where John Jay is right now. But it's like a carnival atmosphere off to our right.
Well, we'll see if the crowd returns for the second half. They were certainly fired up in the first. But when you got a 24-point lead, you feel kind of confident that things are going to go your way.
24-point lead, lots of big plays. That's what surprised me, was the big plays.
And the performance of Jose Boyer.
Oh, I mean, this is a career night.
I mean, just a quick count, 176 yards on 3 touchdown runs alone. That's pretty good. I'll sign for it.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah, just did the math again, 176 yards. Santa Vica ready to walk out to midfield for the second half halftime discussion with the officials. John, you were going to say?
Don't even remember.
It was a salient point nonetheless.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Yeah, I don't know that they'll even take, in Connecticut, they've done away with the, I guess they're going to do a quick abbreviated version, take one captain from each. Now in Connecticut, they basically just ask which side you want.
Yeah.
Saves 45 seconds or so.
And indeed, on Saturday, we will be in Connecticut once again at Notre Dame of Fairfield. The Weston Trojans taking on Notre Dame of Fairfield. That is tomorrow, right here on the HAN.Network.
And I have seen some film of those Weston Trojans. They are impressive, Rob.
And we'll see what Notre Dame of Fairfield has to offer as well.
That's a program looking to turn around.
1 o'clock tomorrow, right here. Second half getting ready to get underway.
Referees breaking it down. Yeah, Notre Dame's been going through coaches fast and furious. They need to find one, settle on it. New AD there. I think they're looking to get some stability in that football program. Be nice to see them get back to where they once were.
Santa Vica will go back near his own 1-yard line. He is the deepest of the 3 receivers for Yorktown. As it's teed up by Shelby. 37-13, Yorktown on top. Second half is underway. High end-over-end kick. Santa Vica at the 1. Starts, brings it left. Gets across the 15 near the 17-yard line. So that's where Boyer and the offense will go back to work for the Huskers.
I want to see if they continue to stand on the pedal or if they slow things down and just try to get out of here with the W. Get out healthy.
First and 10 for the Huskers.
Huskers come out. They'll move from right to left. Receiver comes out to the near side. 2 of them, in fact. That's Tyler McCarr over there. And the handoff goes inside, and it's shut down for a loss of 2 back to the 15-yard line. Santa Vica put down.
That door closed quickly.
And let me correct myself because Boyer is out and Kyle Casey has taken over at quarterback, the junior.
Okay, so that's it. Let's start getting some younger kids some reps.
He waits in shotgun. 2 receivers to each side. Makar, the receiver, out to the left, and we had some movement and a flag. A false start against the Huskers will cost them 5.
False start is the call.
Fourth penalty against the hometown team. They'll go right back to the ground, up the middle. Santa Vica, here he comes. Breaks a tackle, goes right side. Midfield 45-40, and off to the races. He's going to go all the way, 88 yards. Santa Vica, touchdown Yorktown. So the onslaught continues, and the extra point coming up. (43-13) pending the point after. Snap good, spot, kick down, and up, and good.
Good.
10:47 to go in the third quarter. For Santa Vica, that's his first time to tally tonight. It's been the Jose Boyer show up until now. Ready to kick it off are the Huskers. Santa Vica, in fact, had 2 touchdowns last week. That's touchdown number 3 on the year for number 5. Here is the kickoff. Adamak will take it at the 16, and he's wrapped up and spun down at the 26-yard line.
That's good coverage. Give him the bare minimum and slam the door on him.
Jesse Bombach, the senior defensive end, on the stop. So out comes John Jay trying to get something going. Now a 31-point game. Ball on the near side hash. Lee in shotgun. He's going to stick it into the gut of Adamak, who had to adjust, and then he's rumbled down at the 22. A loss of a couple. So 2nd and 12 for the Indians.
2nd and 12.
Ball down at the 24 on the far hash. Trips out to the right. One receiver to the left. Adamak again off the left side. Stays inside the numbers near the 29 and is able to push to the 31. John, what did Yorktown figure out to shut down the Indians? Because the Indians were running at will early on.
You know, I really don't know. I want to go back and watch that first drive and then the second drive. They made some adjustment that's just ended any threat by John Jay.
3rd and call it 6 near the 31. It's going to be Lee himself, who was having plenty of success early on. Takes it to the left near the 35, and a gain of 4. It's going to be short of first down yardage.
Be another punt for the Indians.
Would look like it, and out they come. Ball down at the 35. They needed to get to about the 36 and a half.
Having coached both sides of games like this, you really reach a point where you just kind of want it to be over regardless of which sideline you're on. You want to get out with everybody healthy.
Waiting on the punt. Good snap with time. Gets off a spinning, spiraling kick. Nobody home, so they'll let that roll all the way down to the 20, 18, 17-yard line, and it'll be downed back there by James Day, the junior, for John Jay. 8.5 to go, third quarter, 44-13. Yorktown leading John Jay, and just an impressive onslaught for this Husker football team that did go and play in the sectional championship at Mahopac High School last year, but got blasted by Rye. I was talking New York football before the game with some of the guys on the crew, and they kind of looked at me as I was telling them about Rye knocking off the Huskers, and I said, you know, I'll put it into Connecticut lineage for verbiage for you guys. Rye is kind of like your Greenwich, New Canaan, that kind of group. Dino Gar's team has just been a legendary program for a long time.
That's a team I'd love to see at some point.
Oh, they are fun to watch. Handoff goes to the right side. Looked like Santa Vica diving across to get near the 25. Of course, Rye plays in really the granddaddy of so many high school rivalries, certainly in this area, And that is, of course, the Rye-Harrison game. They don't even call it the Rye-Harrison game. They call it the game. It's been going on since 1929. With just a few breaks, but they've also had years where they played twice in a row. Sanavica, right side, stays inside the numbers. 40 and down at the 36-yard line. Nick Sanavica putting on a show, although he's a little slow getting up at the 36.
So he's trying to stretch his calf there. This is what you start to worry about in a game like this.
But schedules being what they are. Year of 2000, I believe it was 2004. And Rye-Harrison did not take place. And you want to talk about an outcry, not only from the two towns, but from high school football fans throughout the tri-state.
Well, it had to be similar to the outcry about the Thanksgiving games this year in our area.
I would say it was similar. Pitch goes right side. Weaver waits, finds an opening, goes right sideline, and then gets knocked out of bounds down near the 19-yard line in John Jay territory. The Huskers continuing to roll up yardage, 7:26 to go third quarter, 44-13, the guys in black.
Yeah, they're keeping the pedal to the metal, Rob, but they're driving a steamroller right now.
Yep. And they're not doing anything fancy, so nothing that you would consider running up the score or anything like that. They're just running the ball, and a beleaguered John Jay team can't stop them. In fact, they're going from under center. Fake the pitch, now the handoff up the middle. That looks like Weaver, who ducked down to get down near the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 6. Scheduling being what it is for the first time in forever, and I'd have to check the history books, another one of the great rivalries, Mahopac and Carmel, will not take place in 2015. I had to check the calendar and the schedule to really recognize if what I was seeing was true. Sanavica will push it across the 15 down near the 13-yard line. Now he comes up a little lame. And I beg your pardon, that was not Sanavica. In that case, it was McCarr. Third down, 3rd and 2. Straight up the middle and into the end zone. Touchdown, Yorktown.
Little misdirection there, and it's just a simple waltz into the end zone, really.
But down goes Sanavica on the touchdown.
Remember, he's grabbing at his toe like he was trying to stretch his calf earlier.
Yep.
This is one that just scares coaches.
You wonder if it's a case of cramps, or I'm certainly not going to speculate, but you know, your brain does try to figure out exactly what happened.
I'm watching what he's doing. Yeah, he's cramped up. I mean, we're not doctors, but I've seen enough of these.
Yeah. His second touchdown run of the night.
I think it's going to be his last, too.
I would think so. And at 50-13, you know, yes, the 50-point rule exists in Connecticut. There are various and sundry reasons for it. We have debated it. We have discussed it. We have, you know, yeah, exactly. No, I totally agree. And look, we both know one of the biggest proponents of the 50-point rule and is a lovely man, and there are certain things that you're going to agree to disagree to.
And I understand why they did it, and it's wrong to keep your starters in up 89-0 to try to get it to 100. And the reason you don't do that is because you end up with stoppages while they work on one of your top running backs like we're seeing right now, though this doesn't appear to be anything major. But, I mean, my feeling is I would be more embarrassed by you instituting a different set of rules. And I have been, because I've been in that situation as a coach. I would much rather, if you want to beat me, this is the first thing I think I ever said doing a football game for HAN. You want to beat me by 100 points, God bless you.
Right.
If you can do it, great job. Hats off to you. And it gets back, you know, when Bobby Bowden and Lou Holtz were both young coaches. And Lou's team, I forget where he was, pounded Bobby's team really bad. They were clear, you know, and Bobby said, Lou, why'd you keep going? And
sure.
Well, it's not my job to coach your team. It's my job to coach my team. And you end up, particularly with the 50-point rule, you end up coaching against yourself.
That's true.
You really end up, how do I stop myself? What do I put in? What do I do? How do I stop my own offense? How do I tell my defense to let them score so I don't get suspended?
Right.
It creates some awkward and unfortunate situations.
The conversation continues with Nick Sanovica right down near the goal line as Yorktown has opened up a 50-13 lead with 6:31 to go in the third quarter here at Yorktown High School. As I spy a young man in uniform right outside of our booth, John, we should pause at this point to certainly remember the events of 14 years ago today. Still hurts many of us in the soul and in the heart. There was a loss of confidence that day, a loss of a lot of things, a loss and just a large loss of life, of course, and you just pause and remember and keep moving forward.
I'll never forget that day, but the day I really want everybody to remember, and I've written this editorial a couple of times, can we get back to being the America that there was on September 12th of 2001 at some point?
It must be my inner skeptic, but I had a bad feeling on September 12th that everyone was going to fly flags, and not long after, those flags were unfortunately going to be tattered and faded, and unfortunately there's a truth to that.
That is true.
Sanovica is being carried off the field, and that is never a good sign. Now, could it be cramps? And again, we're not going to play doctor because I don't have that kind of knowledge. You do, I don't. You do as someone who has worked as an EMT and as someone who has coached football players. I'm not going to try to play that role, though.
I've seen severe cramping to this extent. That's what I'll say at this point, and I want to see
all right
how this is going. But they didn't immobilize anything.
Right.
They don't appear to be calling for anything more than the trainer, and there are EMTs on the sideline and an ambulance.
Yes.
Most likely a doctor. In Connecticut, you have to have a doctor there.
You have to have an ambulance, and you have to have the medical personnel here in New York as well.
Okay, good. Because I know there is one conference in Connecticut that does not, and I've strongly disagreed with that for some time.
With all that said, Sanfordino back on for the extra point, waits on the snap and the spot and the kick, and it is good. 51-13, 6.5 to go third quarter. As a coach, what do you do now if you're across the line?
I start getting other players in, let them get some experience. I start resting the guys. You have to, yes, you coach one game at a time, but you have to start almost putting that aside and looking, okay, I've got a game next week that I can win, but not if A, B, C, D, and E are banged up. So I'm going to start subbing let my JV guys, hey, it's Friday night.
Right.
You're going to get a little playing time. Get him in there. Get him used to being under the lights in front of this crowd, because it is a different experience than playing in front of a dozen parents on a Monday afternoon in a JV game.
Correct.
And just try to get out healthy. I mean, you don't want to give up, and you don't want to tell your kids, but you're trying to keep them up. You're trying to keep them, hey, they scored this many. But you've also got to start to think about protecting guys.
Here's the approach and the kickoff. Taken at the 14-yard line. Oh, and Adamak got hit right in the hip, and down he goes at the 25. That stung.
They set a good wedge, and the Gunners just got around it like it wasn't there.
So a first down for the John Jay Indians at their own 25-yard line with John Kovach. I'm Rob Adams at Yorktown High School. From left to right, go the guys in the purple and white.
Excuse me, Rob. And to get back to your 9/11 point, I am very impressed, and I mentioned this in the first half, the American flag and POW MIA flag displayed prominently on the sideline of these Yorktown Huskers.
Everybody's got a story, and certainly we all remember. Off the right side goes Matt Lee, and Lee will stretch across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Roughed up by a host of Huskers.
Some shifty moves there, Rob. A nice tackle to bring him down.
Dominic Jaffe was in on it.
They're still stretching Sanavica. The EMTs have kind of crept up the side, but they're still, their backs to it. They're just kind of there. But they're stretching his legs.
Good sign, we hope. Lee will do it himself, running off the left side. Looked like someone wrapped him up pretty tight, and he gets across the 40 to the 42 for a first down.
And there are some players who are just prone to cramping. I've coached a few. I coached a kid, it could be 40 degrees, but he would sweat enough that he would have cramps. I saw him have cramps bad enough he had to be carted off.
We a stoppage here with 5:16 to go in the third quarter and a timeout taken.
Yeah, we've got an injury timeout, Rob, and this time it is Tyler McCarr who is down and trying to stretch out his calves, trying to prop himself up. The coaches and trainers out to him now. Big plays do take something out of you.
Yes.
And Yorktown's had a few. You do a 60-yard sprint, that takes a little bit out of you.
In a 37-point game, you can't help but wonder, will we reach a point of a running clock? Will the fourth quarter just run?
I mean, it is possible. We're getting an okay signal up to somebody in the stands or a coach from one of the other coaches.
Certainly a good sign.
Sanavic is sitting up. He's talking. He's laughing, talking to people. Drinking
what looks like a sports beverage of some
sort.
Yeah.
And there are also some rehydration with electrolytes like you would use for infants.
Sure.
Very common on the sidelines, like a Pedialyte, not to give anybody a free ad, but
sure, but
Pedialyte is, and some guys, no matter how much they drink it, they cramp up. And we have somebody stretching also on the John Jay side, stretching on their own.
Now we should make it clear there are two McCarrs. Brett McCarr wears number 1, and Tyler wears number 15. He's the senior receiver.
Thank you, Rob, for pointing that out. So I bang into a piece of equipment.
Brett's had an outstanding game defensively.
Yes, he has.
Been all over the field.
Yes, he has.
So a first down for John Jay at their own 42-yard line. They'll move from left to right, down 51-13. Shotgun snap with trip receivers to the right, play action fake, quick throw over the middle, and incomplete off the fingertips of Jackson Rieger. One thing about Matt Lee, he has had a couple of drops from his receivers tonight. Now,
some of those are high throws too, though,
exactly.
Rob. Some of those, I mean, you're asking a guy running a post right into the chops of the defense with a linebacker or safety looking to put his shoulder in his ribs to full extension up and leave the ground and make the catch.
I spy some youth players in the crowd, some younger players. Play action fake, quick throw, and this almost intercepted. Couple of opportunities again off the fingertips and incomplete, intended for Jake Loeb at the Yorktown 45. So it'll bring up 3rd and 10. But I always like seeing that, the younger players out here in their jerseys. Receivers to the near side, one out to the left. The fake, and Lee will run it. Bobs and weaves, tries to get to the outside, breaks one tackle, but he's not going to break them all as he gets to the 45, only a gain of 2. Before he's roughed up again, a host of Huskers there. Looked like Val Santucci in on the stop as well, the junior, I beg your pardon.
Got about 3. Had he stayed north-south, he had lanes if he saw them. He probably didn't see them.
So Jimmy Clark will send out the punt team once again in a 38-point ball game. 51-13 with 4 minutes to go, third quarter, clock running.
And they're short a man on the John Jay punt team. brings up one of my failed. Okay, they have the right type of player. See, I always like Rob. We need one. Okay, what do you need?
Yeah, what do you need?
Because if you need a tackle and I send a 5'1", 120-pound corner, it's not helping you.
Good snap and a good punt gotten away. Bounces away from Weaver, who had no intention of going near it, and a good punt by Shelby.
Oh,
and
my
down
goodness.
At the 1.
You mean the 1-inch line?
I do.
That is close.
That is about a 54 and 999 if that's possible.
That
punt.
That's again, that's the second one we've seen. That's really good punt coverage.
Yeah.
Really good special teams both ways we've seen tonight, save for that one bad snap on the punt.
3:24 to go, third quarter, 51-13. For Yorktown, well, they got to get it out of the shadow of their own end zone, but at the same time, it is, as I mentioned, a 51-13 lead. So they'll break the huddle. Under center goes Kyle Casey. Casey will just try to do it himself with a push and maybe a yard or two to the 3.
Just get under center and just follow your blockers.
Yep.
And just wedge and get some room to breathe and then punt it out of here. And I really think the safety followed by the touchdown at 9 points right away, that was the beginning of the real separation in this game, to my mind.
The ball got moved back to the 1. Second down. This time a handoff off the left side with a flag thrown in.
Auburn's left side penalty marker on the field.
With the handoff to Santucci. And we'll see about the flag.
Looks to be on Yorktown.
A false start, which nothing from nothing means nothing, John.
Half the distance.
Yep. Penalty number 5 against the Huskers.
And I just happened to look to our left, and I see Nicholas Santavica get up from that sitting position now.
Bends over, now begins to walk, grabs his helmet.
I'm not sure he's going to be needing that anymore this
Nope.
evening.
Nope.
Just make sure you know where it is.
But you definitely like what you see from the young man as he is back up on his feet for sure.
Yeah, I don't see anybody down right now, which is good.
On 3rd and 10, they'll hand the ball right back off. Just try to get out near the 5. As the penalty was declined.
Well, what was the point?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know why I wrote it down. And the punt team will come on.
Fourth down.
Now the punt team is on, but it's Casey standing back there.
You wonder if he runs it and gives up the safety.
And a whistle and a timeout will be spent, and it's spent by the Yorktown Huskers.
Or we're missing. They're not happy on the sideline that currently holds a
51-30,
38-point lead.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right.
But you don't want that kind of mental mistake. You need to know. Somebody goes down, somebody needs to know. All right, he's on these specials. These are his, you're in, you're on punt, you're on kickoff, you're on kickoff return, you're going in for a one-off. That has to be known. You can't have this happen.
Many hours ago, we began the day with a very nice appearance at Copia Home and Garden, Smith Ridge Road in Vista in Westchester County as well. That was fun, chatting with Peter and everyone there.
I heard it went very well. I
It
didn't
did.
get a chance to see any of it as I had an appointment this morning.
It did. Good folks there. We had a very nice time, so we thank all of them for having us. Here, 1:54 to go in the third quarter. They're going to have a tomato festival there, by the way, tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Yes. Including a demonstration on how to make mozzarella. Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
I may not be at that football game tomorrow.
There's the snap. Here comes the punt. Just a low boot. And bounced and taken at the 47. Spinning left is Machado. Goes to the left sideline. And a nice run back will get it down near the 18-yard line.
Best field position John Jay's had in some time.
So out comes the Indian offense with 1:35 remaining in the third quarter, 51-13. Jose Boyer made this game seem academic early on.
Seems eons ago. And they pulled away quick. You know, John Jay got the early lead, and then we've got an illegal block way behind the play. So much for that. John Jay having the best field position they've had in some time.
Yep.
They're back on the wrong side of midfield now.
Oh, gosh. When it rains, it pours. So the ball down now on the far side hash from left to right. Go the Indians at their own 47-yard line. To the ground they go on first down. Here's Adamak, runs it off the left side. He'll get a yard or two to the 49-yard line.
And then gets piled on by 3 Yorktown Huskers.
For Adamak, a sophomore. Second and 8.
Tell you what, if he's only a sophomore, there's brighter days ahead for this program.
Absolutely true. 49 seconds remaining, third quarter. He'll take the ball again, run it up the middle, breaks one tackle, breaks two, takes it to the left side, and he is thrown down across the 35 at the 34-yard line. That's a first down for the John Jay Indians.
I honestly, Rob, had not looked at what class he was. And to find out he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to give you some hope, and we've got a player down for John Jay.
Yep, Dylan Zeller currently sitting down. Center and defensive lineman, a senior. And again, now the temperatures have cooled quite a bit, but there is a great deal of humidity in the air, and certainly early season, you can understand the cramps and all that stuff, if that's what's going on.
And I everything I've seen points to that, Rob. One of the problems is the temperature did go down, and kids think, oh, it's cool, I'm not that hot. I don't need. You need to drink. You need to rehydrate.
And you need to move to the fourth quarter. After 3 here at Yorktown High School, the Yorktown Huskers 51, the John Jay Indians 13. We will pause for a break, and we'll start quarter number 4 right after this. 51-13, Yorktown leading John Jay on the HAN.Network.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets.
Start of the fourth quarter, Yorktown High School with John Kovach, our entire crew. I'm Rob Adams. 51-13, Yorktown leading John Jay.
They wasted, we wondered about a running clock. The running clock was in between quarters.
Seriously.
I'd really like to coach my guys up. I'm just saying.
Quick play action pass, complete near side. And down that near side to the 29-yard line goes Jackson Rieger, the junior receiver. Another high throw from Matt Lee, and the young man will get it figured out again. You know, he's only a sophomore.
A lot of young guys playing tonight for John Jay. This is you keep your heads up, guys. It's tough tonight. You'll learn from this.
That's right.
You'll be better for this.
2 receivers come out to the left, 1 to the far side right. Fake the handoff. Now it'll be Lee himself, and he's thrown down at the 25. Put on the turf by number 69, Martin Balaj, a senior.
He's short, just short, so 4th and a long 1.
I think you
gotta.
I mean, why not?
Well, you although you do have
shotgun snap, give it to the right, and now it's taken straight up the middle by Lee, who has 2 touchdowns of his own, and he gets down near the 10-yard line. Nice run by the young man.
Great pull. Great read on that. Great pull.
Taylor Ism has come into the backfield, a sophomore running back wearing number 12. He has checked in to the spot where Adamak has been all night. 51-13. 3 touchdowns for Jose Boyer for Yorktown, 2 for Nick Santavica, throwing a safety, a fumble recovery, throw it all into the stew, and that's where we are. Pass to the left side is complete. Rieger tried to break it inside as he dances around, breaks a couple of tackles, though, and carries those tacklers down near the 3. Gain of 7.
All of a sudden, they're going to this little Z-stay. They're letting the split receiver engage, thrown behind the line of scrimmage to the wide slot. I'm assuming Yorktown's backed off more than they did previously.
Ball down at the 5, 51-13, 9:05 to go. This is Ism to the right side, turns it, ducks down, touchdown, John Jay.
Taylor Isom with the TD.
So Taylor Isom from 5 yards out.
Nice little run, a lot of east-west to it, but he managed to get in.
And the extra point coming up.
Extra point coming up.
As a wise man once said. Perry Shelby on for the point after. Snap is good. Spot, kick, end over end. Got the distance, and it is true.
He's only a sophomore. I want to see this kid kick when he's a senior.
Yes, seriously. (51-20). Yorktown leading John Jay as many in the student section begin to make their way out with 8:55 to go. Now, it proves the point of whether or not they're running clock. Right now, they are not stopping between the scores, but we'll keep our eye on it. There's a lot of the youngsters heading out of here while they head toward the diner, the Coach Diner downtown, Commerce Street area. It was always big around this area is to go to a lot of the diners in the area. The Olympic, Yorktown Coach, Mohegan. Big diner area, John.
Stop making me hungry.
We did have a wonderful hot dog from the new concession stand. There's what is essentially a trailer.
Yeah, it looks like a carnival trailer.
Yeah, it really does, but that is brand new. It opened tonight. Trish
really
Harris told us that.
Sorry about that, Rob.
Go ahead.
They really do have a great little facility here. It's a little remote, but it's a great spot.
Absolutely. Kickoff coming. Shelby ready to tee it up. There's always one who's going to say onside kick in a 31-point game.
Right.
The kickoff taken, and it comes out. Turns it left with some room. 20, 25, and thrown down at the 31-yard line. John and I will make note of something, however, with the return there from Sanfordino. Did you notice something?
What?
His foot went back into the end zone.
I did not see that as I'm looking through a screen and dirty glass.
It's a good point.
But I did not see that.
Of course.
I'm not a huge fan of that, to be honest with
Of the touchback rule?
Of the touchback rule that I know you hate so much.
Detest it so much that there are people in Greenwich, Connecticut who still refer to that touchback rule as the Rob Adams rule.
Well, for one, it's a live ball after 10 yards, so somebody should have to cover it.
I agree. Handoff goes, nope, it's going to be taken instead by Kyle Casey himself off the left side. Casey able to get some positive yardage, a lot of running for about 7 near the 37-yard line. And it looks like another Indian might be roughed up just a hair with 8:05 to go. Yeah, it's football. Run the ball. Tackle. That's always been my take on it.
Right,
And
down. If the ball goes in and you're not going to run it out, you should have to cover it.
And the good
because that's a live ball that the defense can pick up or the kicking team could cover.
And the good people of Greenwich have heard me rant and rave about it enough times over the years as the injured player does come to his feet and makes his way off.
In New York, in Connecticut, that's a touchback
That is
automatically.
a touchback. Yep, sure is. Any part of your body makes contact with the end zone, it is a touchback. First down for Yorktown. Beg your pardon, second down following that run by Casey. Out of the eye with the receiver out to the right. And believe me, when you see the eye in this kind of game, you know the ghost has been given up. Because now it is student body left and student body right, and we're going to run into the line.
Just going to run ISO.
Yep.
You're going to run ISO
Yep.
each side, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And it's the right thing to do. You just want to run
Sure.
the clock. You don't need another one.
Mike Resigno and Jimmy Clark will shake hands, and they'll call it a night. Yorktown won the game. And that was a big storyline. But no doubt, Yorktown very impressive. Third down, handoff again, left side. They'll just try to push for the first down to keep the clock running. Not going to get there.
They're just run and dive.
They got it to the 39.
Hard to watch this game and know the FCIAC opener is still a week away.
It's really crazy, isn't it? Now, Connecticut is now off and running with football. And again, no one has ever told me otherwise, but to my knowledge, that's it. The last in the country to kick off high school football.
I believe that is correct.
And I will no doubt make this point again next Friday night when we do our first Fairfield County Interscholastic Athletic Conference, a.k.a. FCIAC football game, which will be New Canaan at Ridgefield next Friday on the HAN.Network. Big pregame show before, and we hope you join us. As Yorktown will punt the ball away. I'll make the point after the punt. There is the snap. A couple of steps forward, no rush, and they get it away. Bounces down harmlessly and will roll away from John Jay. They will let that ball go. Machado in no rush, and the ball down at the 15-yard line. But almost a month ago now, I was down in North Carolina for a week. And it was nice to be down there, have some family down there, down in Fayetteville, which is a great town and a very military town. All-American town, very much so. But one Friday night, my son and I are driving back into Fayetteville. I put the radio on. There's a coach's show on the radio, followed by kickoff in August. Off and running high school football mid-August.
A lot of those southern states do. Florida, they play, 14 games?
Yeah, play action comes left side. It's complete. Around the man comes James Day. Day to the left sideline, and he'll get knocked off onto the Yorktown sideline. Get him out to the 36-yard line for a 20-yard gain. Hit what looked like a young woman who I'm guessing is handling stats for Yorktown, but she's fine. First down for the Indians. Receivers to each side, and the handoff will go with Ism to the right side. Brings it around, gets to the 49, stays on his feet. They'll rule him out of bounds at the Yorktown 49-yard line. 14 yards and a first down. And correction, I keep saying Ism, it's Isom. PA announcer correcting. 5:13 to go, fourth quarter, clock stopped, 51-20. Yorktown in control over John Jay. With John Jay Kovach.
No middle name.
That's true.
Times were tough.
I did know that about you. Ball is loose on the turf. Yorktown had it off the handoff, heads toward the far sideline, and is retained by John Jay. They'll wind up with a fresh set of downs as a result. So fortuitous bounce. Yorktown couldn't control the loose pigskin. So your parents could not afford a middle name. My parents did.
I'm named after my father,
yeah,
whose birthday is Sunday. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday, Mr. Kovach.
Who's named after his father, whose birthday would have been September 7th. And none of us have a middle name.
And you have a birthday coming up as well, all here in September.
So I do. I've been trying to hide from.
Hand off left side. Isom's got some running room. Takes it to the outside, and he's roughed up near the 25-yard line. Nice run by the young man for about 14 yards and a first down. 4:09 to go fourth quarter, 51-20 Yorktown.
One of those tackles that some people will yell that's a horse collar. It's really not unless he grabs the pads. And then really to be a true horse collar, he has to throw his legs across the back of the ball carrier.
And the 4-minute warning is put up here.
By the officials, they're saying 3 minutes left, 4 minutes left of the concept.
I say 3-minute warning would be a new concept.
That'd be a new concept, but it is 4, as our officials indicate to each side. Again, that is very much a New York thing. And now they'll wind the clock. As you mentioned, in stadia in Connecticut that do not have scoreboards, it is common to have a 4-minute warning. Here it is common to have it regardless. Right side, James Day takes it to the outside, runs it to the right side.
Big hit right at the sideline.
Let's see where they rule him out. Across the 15 from the looks of it, near the 13. And that appears to be the case. 3:39 to go. Clock stopped now as a result of being knocked out of bounds. John and I will be performing the Uptown Funk in about 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Got that straight.
Receivers to each side. Shotgun snap. Lee hands it off. That's Isom again. To the outside. 10 to the 5 and down at the 3.
He's quick. He just does a lot east-west.
Ball carried by Isom.
And he is knocked down. The tackle made by Mike Rubel.
Couple of finals in from Connecticut, Rob, according to the CIAC. Newtown all over Pomperaug, 42-0.
Nighthawks will be good once again. First and goal at the 4. Isom waits, bobs, weaves, touchdown.
Touchdown.
Do the rest of the finals that we have out of Connecticut after.
Go right ahead.
Well, yeah, I'll do it before they kick here. Abbott Tech Immaculate 40, Vinyl East Hampton Goodwin 7, Woodland 27, Oxford 7, Hill House 50, Sheehan 20. Trying not to go too far afield here. That's what we've got for finals thus far. Again, no FCAC tonight.
Correct.
Notre Dame West Haven 34, Fairfield Prep 0.
No kidding.
Final just came in.
Please read that again. Notre Dame West Haven, here's the extra point. And that is up and good.
Notre Dame West Haven 34, Fairfield Prep 0.
Fairfield Prep had been dominant in football, not tonight.
North Haven 56, Jonathan Law of Milford 28.
We will see Law and Prep later in the season. I have to admit, and I've seen it all, you've seen it all. I did get to Rafferty Stadium as I've been driving around trying to, get set for these broadcasts. And Rafferty Stadium on the campus of Fairfield University is Fairfield Prep's home football stadium. It is not, however, meant for football because Fairfield University is lacking something, a football team. But Fairfield Preparatory is right there, Fairfield Prep, of course, on campus. As a result, the Jesuits need a place to play football, and Rafferty Stadium's the perfect place. It is a lacrosse field, is Rafferty. Here's the rub. They will play football at Rafferty without hash marks.
They're not going to mark it? I had heard they were doing temporary.
I went in. I took a look. Goalposts are up. Looks great. Great place. As you know, we've worked a couple of lax games there as we'll wait on the kickoff. Here's the approach, and off it goes. This will be taken right near the goal line. With 2:42 to go, runs it right up the middle and gets to the 20-yard line.
Fairfield Prep just put turf down on the...
That's Thomas Richard Dooley, by the way. Go ahead.
On the practice field, which is at the corner of... Not
Yes.
Barlow.
Yes.
Barlow Road and.
Is that Umpqua right there?
No, that's not. Umpqua's the next one down.
Okay.
It's not Mill Plain. I can't remember which
All right.
road it is.
In any event, it's a block or two away from Fairfield Ludlow.
Right by the Dolan School of Business.
Yes.
And I have to say, they did a very nice job turfing that practice
Oh,
field.
it's beautiful. I saw it, and I saw prep practicing on it, and I'm thinking to myself, that looks more, like a high school football field, except it's lacking bleachers and amenities, so you're not going to play your games there.
Right, there's no room for that.
Off the right side and out of bounds. First touch on the night for Spencer Paglula, a junior.
Harding victorious in its first game in the Constitution State Conference, beating Prince Tech 45-13. Brookfield 27, New Fairfield 13.
Better days are ahead for Bassick and Harding athletically. 1:45 to go. They will be competitive in that conference, running up the middle, now bouncing it to the right side to the 37. It's a gain of 2. And it is Santa Vica who is back in, JK.
Surprises me some.
No, it is not Santa Vica. My
Okay.
mistake. I was stunned. It was Val Santucci wearing number 6. But the
Thank
numbers can fool you.
We said earlier these could be tough to read.
Yes.
I'm kind of surprised it took this long to get where there was one that we couldn't figure.
Down to 1:10 to go. Final score will likely be 51-27, but we'll see. Kyle Casey on in relief of Jose Boyer. He will take it out of the eye, hand it off. Right back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard, as this clock will begin to run out. Down to 49. John Jay owned the fourth quarter. They can feel good about that. 51-27. Out of the eye. Now they'll shift up. Now they will gather in the victory formation. From the looks of it, with 24 and really no need to do anything more, as Casey will take a knee, and this one will come to an end. Polite applause from those still left here at Charlie Murphy Stadium. And they will go and shake hands on a night in which Jose Boyer ran for 3 touchdowns of 45, 62, and 69 yards. A couple of touchdowns for Nick Santavica, as well as a couple of touchdowns on the other side for Matt Lee and Taylor Isom. 51-27, the final score. John, as we watch them shake hands, let me get a final thought from you.
All Yorktown, John Jay stuck around. They're young, they're beat up. They'll be okay. They have to get through this.
Well, they certainly will, and John Jay will get it going. They dropped to 1-1 on the year. For Yorktown, they improved to 2-0 in just what turned out to be a dominant performance by this Husker football team. As we begin to say goodnight, we thank our entire crew here at Yorktown High School. Eric Gendron, our director, Marty Hersam as well, Josh Fisher, A.J. Szymanowski, Tracy Iazzi, Tim Murphy. I'm missing somebody in the crew. J.B. Cousins, J.P. was here as well.
Yep.
So great crew on hand. I thank all of them for joining us here, and I thank you as well for keeping me company.
Thank you.
All right, for John Kovach, I'm Rob Adams, wishing you a good night from Yorktown High School. The final score, the Yorktown Huskers improved to 2-0 as they knock off the John Jay Indians 51-27 from Charlie Murphy Stadium in Yorktown Heights, New York. Good night, everyone.